So, I got asked this question the other day. What does success mean for ZoomSafer? And on a personal level, I can honestly say that right now, success for ZoomSafer is here, because in the last 60 days, I've been using the product, and for me personally, I'm a safer driver. I've changed my behavior thanks to ZoomSafer, and I'm now more focused and I'm less distracted. As a company, success for us means we're going to help others do what I've done, which is change behavior to be more focused, less distracted, and a safer driver. We'd like to do that for multiple segments of the market, for young people, for parents, for families, for corporations, for business people. And if we can just help move the dial a little bit and help people be a little more sensitive to paying attention when they drive, then we'll be successful. So the question is a good one, and at ZoomSafer we've really studied the issue of distracted driving. We've thought about it deeply, and we've sort of looked at why it is that modern society is behaving the way that it is, and why we collectively are doing the things that we're doing when driving. And in our efforts to understand the problem, we've come up with a solution that we think is really innovative, because it creates context. It's not necessarily a binary answer. I mean, we're not naive. We don't think that this is a magic bullet and it's just all of a sudden going to stop people from distracted driving. It's not that at all. But it is a very small, elegant, easy, simple solution that really does work and really does help people do the right thing. In that sense, we're modifying behavior, right? We're moving the dial. And if we're moving the dial a little bit, we're making people safer, we're making the road safer, we're giving people context, both people who are driving and people who aren't, that this is something that we should be smarter about. And ZoomSafer really helps people be smarter about focused driving. The legislative agenda right now in the states and potentially in Congress as well is really interesting, and we're obviously following it very carefully. We're big supporters of legislation. We think legislation is a part of the solution. This, as I mentioned earlier, is a big problem. It's behavioral, it's complex. ZoomSafer by itself isn't the answer. Technology by itself isn't the answer, but ZoomSafer and innovative technology combined with smart legislation, combined with good education, really starts to move the dial in a big way. And we can start to see society, I think, behave differently. I think that, given where we're headed right now, the combination of ZoomSafer with legislation and education and a bunch of other positive sort of factors can begin to really change behavior for the good, not unlike society changed behavior as it related to seatbelt use in the 1970s. In that particular case, it was a combination of legislation, education, and technology that changed behavior. And today, as a society, we have a fairly broad, near ubiquitous adoption of seatbelts. And I think in the near future, I hope, really hope, that at some point in the near future, ZoomSafer can play a small role in helping society be more focused and less distracted. I hope that in the future, we're going to look back at our behavior and sort of laugh at the fact that, can you imagine we used to actually sit there behind the wheel of our cars and actually text while we were driving? I mean, how insane was that? I mean, I think that day is coming, and I hope that ZoomSafer can play a part. I mean, to be clear, ZoomSafer from the very beginning when we developed the software was designed to be a service that people would use because they want to, not because they had to. There is an element of our experience which is fun, it's interesting, it's slightly entertaining, it's cool, it's sensible, right? It's not Big Brother. It doesn't necessarily sort of constrain you to the point of, it doesn't necessarily overly restrict you, but it does contextualize your driving experience so that you're more focused and less distracted. So this initial beta, the beta today that launches, is for the BlackBerry only. And shortly after the BlackBerry, we will make the software available on Windows mobile devices and also on Google Android devices no later than the end of the year. There is an issue with the iPhone. People ask us all the time, are you going to have an iPhone version? We would like very much to have a version of ZoomSafer for the iPhone, but currently right now, due to restrictions in the iPhone development platform, we're not able to provide the full ZoomSafer experience for the iPhone as a device. So in the near future, ZoomSafer is available on BlackBerry, all versions, Google Android devices, and Windows mobile devices. And we're certainly hopeful that iPhone would consider modifying their platform so that we could make our software available for iPhone users as well. So that's a great point. For people who don't have smartphones, the opportunity for ZoomSafer to help them be more focused and less distracted when they drive is there, and we're working on a variety of services that will be available for that portion of the market, except it's going to, in the initial phase, require them to manually opt in. So you'll have to manually activate, manually opt into a set of safe driving services that we make available for non-smart devices. Ideally, over time, we'll be able to create more and more of an automatic experience like we have with BlackBerry, like we have with Windows Mobile, like we have with Google Android, to automatically enable those safe driving services so you don't even have to think about it. But for the time being, non-smart devices and iPhone will have a set of safe driving services, but you'll have to manually opt in.